We are less than 1 month away from the Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena in Chicago. It's Wednesday. Faith Woodard, Jay Alter with you as always to talk Big East Women's Basketball. Season is flying by. The week's just not stopping. What are your takes in the final month as teams prepare for that tournament in Wintrust Arena? And really, the standings start to crystallize, and we're getting who's going to be at the top and who's going to be at the bottom.
I just say bring it. I mean, it's crunch time. Just do whatever you can. Perfect those defensive schemes. Get in the gym for those extra shots and get it done.
Faith says bring it. Well, guess what? They brought it over the weekend. Top 5 plays. We've got some good ones coming up here to start the show. We start at number 5. Great game in Philadelphia. Drama late. Georgetown and Villanova. Hoyas, they swing it to Michaela Venzen. Give me all 3 of these. This is deep. Woo! Woo!
Here's that quick release.
That cuts it to 2. Villanova clings and wins this game by 1, 68-67. Number 4. DePaul, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. Here's why. Tic-tac-toe passing for the Blue Demons for another triple. Number 3, defense turning into offense. Best way to score, right, Faith?
Yes, for sure. I mean, look at those hands getting in that passing lane and just getting out there for that easy bucket.
If you liked that at number 3, you'll definitely like this at number 2. Seton Hall doing the exact same thing. Reading the eyes like a cornerback on a quarterback in football, passing back, and then the and one finish. A little bit of everything there. Seton Hall stormed back to beat Butler at home. Great win for Tony Bozzella and the Pirates. Number 1, 4 seconds to go. Audrey Faber, Creighton down 2. Hooping the harm. That ties it at 73 with 2 seconds left. Faber would win it from the foul line. Ton of drama this week.
I know. I mean, that shot from Faber, left-handed shots are like crazy, and she got that last-minute bucket. Kudos.
Was that off limits in the Faith Woodard playbook?
I mean,
lefty layup?
Left-handed shots are always tough, but I feel like I got it. I feel like I got it my senior year.
We will be joined by the Creighton superstar in a couple of minutes. That's a big win for the Bluejays against a Marquette team that we know is really talented.
For sure. I mean, top 25 RPI, getting that win under their bucket is just, that was huge. So.
All right, let's see our top 5 storylines this week on our Wednesday edition of the Big East Women's Basketball Show. With that loss to Marquette, DePaul now stands alone at the top of the Big East standings.
Yeah, I can definitely see why DePaul is up there vying for that number 1 spot because, you know, they've just been playing really good basketball all this season long. They haven't really lost too many games in the Big East, but, you know, DePaul's just one of those teams that's always tough to play against because they just have that good coaching from Bruno. They have great players like Coleman and Campbell and Marte Graves who just bring so much to DePaul basketball. And they're one of those teams that you always have to buy in and be ready to play because they're going to bring it night in, night out.
Seemingly, the Blue Demons under head coach Doug Bruno just find a way to grind out results in this Big East Women's Basketball regular season and somehow end up close to or at the number 1 spot.
Yeah, it's every year for them. And I would be really shocked to see DePaul like 5 years from now at the bottom of the Big East because for a while now they've always been at the top.
It's consistency. That's the biggest thing of the DePaul Blue Demons program, and they are number 1. All right, point number 2 this week. You got to love what St. John's has done lately. The Red Storm going back to the Joe Tartamello roots. He loves to coach defense, and they held both Butler and Xavier to under 40 points in 40 minutes. Impressive on the defensive end.
Yeah, one of the things that we used to say at Georgetown is if you hold a team under 50 points, you're going to be in a good position to win that ball game, and that's exactly what they did. Xavier and Butler, they not only held them under 50 points, but they held them to like 38, 37 points. That's unheard of. So, I mean, they just played really good basketball this weekend.
And this was a busy week for the St. John's Red Storm. Head coach Joe Tartamella and star sophomore guard Andrea Adams, they somehow, some way, found a way to get back to Minnesota this week. Andrea Adams getting her number 15 retired in a suburb outside Minneapolis, Como Park. More than 3,000 points.
Ooh.
Golly.
3,000 points, that is crazy. I mean, I got 2,000 in high school, but
2,000.
3,000 is like,
add an extra.
You are a baller, for real.
Well-deserved. Congratulations, Andrea. That is an achievement. That number 15 will hang there in Como Park for a long, long time. How'd they get to Minnesota?
I don't know.
You're playing Butler and Xavier at Carnesecca. You get 2 wins. hop on the plane.
That is dedication. That just shows how good of a player she is, because that's dedication right there.
Also having a good weekend here on the East Coast, the Seton Hall Pirates, a 2-0 weekend. And boy, Kwani Jackson, she has really elevated her game and is leading the Pirates up those Big East standings.
Yeah, when they played against St. John's a while back, one of the things I talked to her in an interview was she really worked on her outside jumper this offseason. So a jump shot is the hardest shot to guard, and she just really perfected that this offseason. So you can just see that she's really added dimensions to her game. She puts the ball on the floor really quick, gets to the rim really well, so she's playing good basketball.
And when we look at Seton Hall and St. John's, these are teams that a week ago were tied at 5-6, below 500, and now both are 7-6 after 2-0 weekends. That's exactly what you have to do to climb up this really tough Big East women's basketball standings, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
They had those home games. You have to take advantage of the home games, and both Joe Tartamella and Tony Bozzella's team did just that.
For sure. Couldn't agree more.
And boy, I'm already licking my lips. That's going to be an excellent matchup on Fox Sports 2, Friday night, February 16th, St. John's, Seton Hall. Always a battle between those two. All right, let's keep it rolling on our top 5 things you need to know in the world of Big East women's basketball. We showed you in the top 5 plays. This was game of the weekend up there with Creighton and Marquette. Villanova, just a 1-point win against Georgetown.
I know. I mean, I'm so sad to see the Hoyas lose. But, Villanova is just an awesome team. They have that, great coaching from Harry. And one of the things that really stands out about Villanova's basketball, they have so many scorers on their team. Balanced scoring is always what gets it done for them. Of course, Georgetown had good scoring from Michaela Vincent and Deanna White, but Villanova just really came to play. So,
do you have a favorite Villanova-Georgetown memory from your time playing them?
Man, it was just always tough playing against
Villanova.
Villanova.
Close games, dramatic.
It was always close games, and whenever we beat Villanova, I mean, you should have seen it. Screaming in the locker room, just really excited. So it was always good.
All right, let's move on to our number one thing you need to know. You saw the top play earlier. Audrey Faber, superstar, clutch gene. A 3-point play the old-fashioned way, wins it against Marquette on the road. When you talk about resumes in the NCAA tournament, this is a critical one for Creighton that's currently building their case.
For sure. If they ever, they of course have aspirations of going to the tournament. And one of the ways to do that is beating just teams who are already ranked, have that high RPI, because this is what the NCAA looks at. What is your scoring margin? Who have you beat? And so beating Marquette was really a clutch win for them. And this was a tough game, and Audrey Faber really got it done.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not an easy position to be in. You're down 73-71, only 4 seconds on the clock. Most coaches would say, all right, if we can get this to overtime, that's a win.
Right.
Well, Audrey Faber did that and more. She got the tying bucket, made the foul shot. It got a huge win, and we caught up earlier today with Audrey Faber. Time to welcome in one of the Creighton Bluejays stars, Audrey Faber, joining us from Omaha after a huge win at Marquette. Audrey, congratulations on that, a big one. You've won 4 out of your last 5. What is the biggest key on this current stretch, including that win at Marquette?
I think we've just had a lot of really good team wins. We've really focused on just getting better each and every practice and everyone stepping up into their roles. So I think just taking it one day at a time is a big thing for us, and we're just taking it one game at a time, and, we've seen good results, so I hope we just keep up on this little stretch we have right now.
All right, that's an answer that Coach Flan would love, and you said everything perfect there, but really, what went into this stretch? Is there anything, a moment in a practice or in a locker room that really got this team clicking? You're playing the best basketball you've played all season.
The Seton Hall win was big, obviously. Another overtime win, those always feel nice. But I think just second half of conference, we really know we needed to turn it on. And, we're capable of winning every single game. And, the conference is really good. So, we just know we have to be prepared. And we just really wanted to step it up for the second half of conference.
You mentioned overtime. It's like you see my questions sheet before the interview. I was going to ask you about overtime. You're so good in it. You mentioned the Seton Hall game, 17-0. You're 4-1 in 5 overtimes this year. What is it about this team that just clicks when you get to that extra session?
I think just the desire to win and just sticking together. I think for sure. Just confidence in each other, making one play at a time, and just not doing too much, sticking to what we know, and just playing together. I think at the end of the day.
You're now a grizzled veteran on this Creighton Bluejays team. Tell me about Temi Sarda, a freshman of the week this year in conference, has really stepped up off the bench to give you guys production down the stretch here, including these wins where you're 4 of 5. What about her play, and how have the veterans kind of brought her along in her first year in Omaha?
Yeah, she's been a great spark for us off the bench. She comes in, she's quick, she can handle the ball for us, so that takes pressure off of Sid. She can score the ball. She plays great defense. So she's just been a great spark for us overall. Just does a lot for us, plays well in any lineup. So, we're happy to have her, and she's playing really well right now.
Audrey, Jim Flannery, your head coach, hopped in the layup lines this weekend. How's his game?
I was impressed with his layup lines. He had some creative finishes. He missed his 3, but that's all right. I don't think that was on the clip, but he had a creative finish at the end, so, it might have to become a ritual, I guess.
Who wins one-on-one, Flannery, Faber?
I have to go with myself, right?
Love the confidence.
Yeah, I'll go with myself.
All right, before the interview, let's go off the court. I said, did you watch the Super Bowl? And you told me you watched the halftime show only.
Yes.
Big Justin Timberlake fan, and the folks in Omaha got some good news.
Yeah, we got some good news this morning. He's coming to Omaha, but I'll actually be going to the one in Chicago. So won't need tickets to the Omaha one, but still excited to see him in concert.
Favorite song?
I like Mirrors. I think that's my favorite song. But I really like his new album, too.
I got to say, I thought he killed it at the Super Bowl. I think
would
the
agree.
JT fan base is a lot to be proud of their man. He stepped up, hit a home run.
I know, I agree.
Also killing it, Audrey Faber on the basketball court. Creighton, 4 out of their last 5. Big win at Marquette. Keep it rolling there in Omaha, okay?
Thanks, we'll try.
And the Bluejays look to keep it rolling this weekend. They take a trip to Providence. Faith, let's take a look at our upcoming schedule and see what sticks out as these games fast and furious, the Friday, Sunday swing, and you can catch it all on the Big East Digital Network starting Friday, little 11:30 action, St. John's of Villanova.
Yeah, St. John's of Villanova might be a really good game. They play different styles of basketball. Villanova just, doing well behind the arc. St. John's well off the bounce, so I'm excited about that game.
DePaul Butler, a really good one. That's at 7 o'clock on the Big East Digital Network Friday. And then Sunday, you have 3 games in there. St. John's at Georgetown, Seton Hall at Villanova. That game on Fox Sports 2, and DePaul at Xavier. What do you think of that slate?
A bunch of good basketball. Those matchups are really, really good, but that Seton Hall at Villanova might be a good one to watch, too.
You told me last week, St. John's at Georgetown. That was always one of your favorite matchups,
oh,
right?
Man. I just don't know what it is, but, I think maybe the defensive scheme. St. John's just plays that defense that's in your face, really gritty, emotional, defense. So it always makes it tough, to play against a team like that.
That Red Storm team coming off back-to-back 40-point or less games. Their opponents just getting nothing on that defense right now. It'll be up to your former Hoyas to try and figure it out.
I'm keeping the faith. I have faith in Georgetown.
Beautiful. I wish that could play us out. Billy Joel's keeping the faith.
Seriously.
We got Faith Woodard here. It's been another fun edition of the Big East Women's Basketball Show. We will see you next week to break it all down once again. Thanks for joining us.